the BJP conclave, which anointed Narendra Modi as the poll panel chief. That's a short step perhaps to him being recognized as the Prime Ministerial candidate in case the NDA were to get the numbers. Rajdeep Sardesai, editor-in-chief of CNN-IBN, joins us. Rajdeep, how do you see this impacting the BJP and the NDA's performance in the polls? Already we have noises from Naveen Patnaik saying that he sees a third front as more imminent, can't attach himself to the NDA. Do you see more people like, for instance, Nitish also saying that, and therefore a third front becoming imminent?
Look, I don't think there's anything new in what Naveen Patnaik has said. This is his line. He's always said that he will remain equidistant between the NDA and the UPA. So I wouldn't take that statement as an indication of any broad trend emerging. But I think what has happened over the weekend, Lata, is that while the BJP in a sense has galvanized its cadres without a doubt because they've anointed Narendra Modi, I think the NDA itself is still a big question mark, because I think within the NDA there are fault lines which will be exposed in the days and months ahead because of Narendra Modi getting this kind of preeminent position within the BJP. You've already seen Nitish Kumar's party making it very clear that while Narendra Modi as campaign committee chief is the BJP's internal matter, the issue of who will be the Prime Ministerial face of the NDA will be decided at an appropriate time. That's even a point which even the Shiv Sena, one of the longest serving allies of the BJP, has been making. So I think what has happened is the BJP has been strengthened, but the NDA remains a question mark because with Modi's arrival, the fault lines will widen. Interestingly, he could also bring in fresh allies. Jayalalitha today has said that Modi is my friend. So Jayalalitha is the kind of person who could be a pre-poll or post-poll ally of the NDA. On the other hand, someone like a Nitish Kumar would perhaps look for an exit route if Narendra Modi was to be projected as a prime ministerial face. So I think what we will see in the next few months is some kind of political realignment ahead of those elections. But yes, you're right that the third front itself will remain a relevant player. The likes of Naveen Patnaik, a few other leaders, possibly a Mamata Banerjee, will keep all their options open till the very last moment, including Mulayam Singh and Mayawati.
So what you're saying is that it's not at all a done deal that Modi would be the prime ministerial candidate for the NDA. I mean, this point has often been made by many BJP watchers that LK Advani, much less hawkish than Narendra Modi, or perceived to be at least not as stridently anti-Muslim as anti-minorities as Modi, could not make it. Finally yielded seat after perhaps being the kingmaker to Vajpayee, who had a more nationalist image. So the argument always was that Modi will not make the final cut for these reasons. Do you think it still remains difficult for Modi to make it to the prime ministerial candidate, or is the situation different and he's perhaps a more sure-shot candidate?
I think there are differences between the Advani-Vajpayee era and, dare I say, the onset of the Modi era. I think Narendra Modi is being pitched by the BJP not on the basis of his Hindutva ideology as much as on the basis of his strong, decisive leadership. There's a sense within the BJP that the way to win the next election, or at least emerge well ahead of the Congress, is to position the Congress as a party of weak leaders beset by policy paralysis, and then contrast that with Narendra Modi as being a more decisive leader who takes decisions. So I think that's the contrast that you will see building up in the months ahead, and therefore Modi could well emerge as the prime ministerial face of the BJP, if not of the NDA, particularly after the winter elections. I think if the BJP doesn't do well, or as well as expected in those winter elections, the 5 state elections, then there will be even greater momentum to project Modi not just as the chairman of the campaign committee of the BJP, but take a risk and make him the prime ministerial face of the NDA. A section of the party would like to hold this option till the very end, possibly till even after the election. But I think there's such a momentum within the BJP today, the rank and file, that it will be difficult to stop Narendra Modi from being projected in some form, de facto if not de jure, as their prime ministerial face. It is a risk because it could alienate allies, but it's also a gamble a section of the BJP believes is worth taking, because it will give the voter a definite option. And at a time where the Congress is struggling to come up with a real leader who is credible enough to be seen as the next Prime Minister, then Narendra Modi could occupy that leadership vacuum space. Having said that, I still do believe that if Modi is to be the next Prime Minister of the country, the BJP will need more than 180 seats at least, possibly 200 with Modi. And that's really the challenge for Narendra Modi. The chemistry is with him. Where does he get the arithmetic to grow from 116 to 200 seats? That remains the big challenge for Narendra Modi at the moment.
Rajdeep, morning. What's the reaction that you expect from the Congress party? A, in terms of, as you pointed out, the phase to project to counter, Modi, who's, known to bait, the congressmen. And secondly, do you see the Congress party or the UPA upping the growth talk or reform policies in the run-up to the general elections in the next few months to counter, again, Modi's, development policies?
And just to add a brief question to that, do Chidambaram's chances improve? Because he has always been seen as perhaps the more performing minister in the UPA cabinet.
Okay, two questions. Let's start with the first one that was raised. I think the first one is an interesting question, because I think the agenda which was expected to be around the UPA's performance in the last 5 years, which was expected to be certainly the BJP's calling card and may well be Modi's calling card now, the kind of slogans he's given, Congress Bachao, Congress Bhagao, Desh Bachao. I get a sense that that agenda will probably change around the personality of Narendra Modi. You can now expect the Congress to finally find some kind of momentum to target Modi. So in a sense, a polarization will take place. The Congress has been on the defensive so far because its track record has been exposed relentlessly over the 5 years. Now the Congress will go back to its old politics and hope that there will be some kind of secular realignment by targeting Narendra Modi for 2002 and more. That's the nature of the Congress's politics. They will play that politics. I don't think they will really focus that much on the growth strategy. They will obviously hope that the economy improves, but that's not going to be really a constant focus of this government. On the Chidambaram point, for Chidambaram it's important. For Chidambaram it's important as finance minister to show that he's got the economy in control, to show that he has at least made an effort as finance minister to get the economy back on track. I don't know whether that will enhance his prime ministerial chances, but yes, it will certainly enhance his own personal credibility within the UPA. And that could be a factor come 2014 if the UPA is in a position to form a government and is looking for prime ministerial candidates, and Manmohan Singh is not seen as the kind of person who will get a third term, although that can't be ruled out. Chidambaram would need to get the economy back on track to enhance his own credentials to be Prime Minister. And it's interesting, if there's one person who can take on Narendra Modi, as we've seen even on internal security issues within the Congress, who has in a sense that kind of vigor to take on Narendra Modi within the Congress, it's P. Chidambaram. In a way, they're very similar kind of individuals. They are acknowledged by their critics to be extremely authoritarian, but at the same time, both of them are also seen to be decisive. So a Chidambaram versus Modi contest, both on the economy and internal security, can't be ruled out. But I don't see the Congress really getting any fresh impetus on the growth, on growth, because Modi has become the BJP's candidate now.